Morning, everyone. Good morning. I just want to thank you so much for taking the effort time to be here today, right? I actually thought, I want to do this program within my organization, but then I thought it would be much more helpful to the public. Actually, many responded. The only thing is the timing, the date, because not everyone could, make it on the same day. So, but I would like that all of you are here. I hope we can have fun. You ready to have fun? Okay. So, today's session, breaking the anxiety, procrastination, distraction loop. All right. So, what we're going to cover, basically, I'm just going to do the ice breaking here because I can see several shy people. Okay, this room actually says space, no space for judgment. Okay, we are here just to do this. Any sharing, anything will be within this room. Okay, so in order to just loosen up, I want all of you to, introduce yourself. Okay, before that, a small thing. I know you guys have been, walking around and stuff like that, but just a little game to further, just to add that more fun. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and to relevant to the topic, right? When I say task, right? All of you have to speak. Okay, when I say distraction, you just move lah. You want to go anywhere. Okay, just keep on moving till I say task, please. Okay, distraction, move. Is that okay? Clear? Can you do that? Sure. Let's do it. Okay, distraction. Just be careful on the table and all. I don't want a good one. I heard the project on you to fall down. Okay, distraction. Done. Done. Okay, distraction. Distraction. Done. Do like more active, like jumping, electrification. Distraction. Done. Distraction. Done. Distraction. Someone is cheating here very fast. Everyone morning. Distraction. Okay, thank you. Okay. What is activity was the job is exactly how fast you take and take a task. Okay, the task can be very, very important in the work. Like for example, like our mandatory training, right? And then you will keep on thinking about it, and then you will receive a lot of WhatsApp messages, reminders, everything, I mean, in a workplace setting or anything, the task is so important. You'll be receiving a lot of reminders and all that. Yet, we don't want to go there. Right? Can repeat. Okay. But the good news is we can retrain that attitude, right? Okay. So the fourth session today is about understanding our personal stress group. Okay, what kind of stress actually affects you? What's your stress pattern, etc. Okay, and then to combat that, we learn the simple body mind technique. Then after that, we will all practice them together. Okay, and then you guys take that tool, can go back You can choose to procrastinate, or you can choose to apply. All right. Now, before that, let me formally introduce myself. I know most of you here know me. There are several people who don't know me because we met at random schools and stuff like that. Okay, so that's me. How's the picture? Yeah, I love the pink line too. Okay, so basically, I work for a corporate. That's my full-time job. Okay, so I have about 20 years of experience serving the higher management. That's that work is something I have gained lots of experience, because we meet a lot of people in and down. I have to manage lots of external stakeholders, internal stakeholders. That was one of the reasons that attracted me to my parallel journey because I just learned human behavior, right? So then, 5 years ago, about 5, 6 years ago, I explored this, way because I thought this is my passion and I want to, really focus on that. Hence, I started with clinical hypnotherapy. Okay, I did my course in London College of Clinical Hypnosis. Then, slowly I started to do a lot of certifications. So one of it is rational emotive behavioral therapy. I'm also familiar with cognitive behavioral therapy, which is CBT. Both goes hand in hand. REBT and CBT go hand in hand. I do a lot of solution focused therapy. So usually how I function at my workplace, I apply a lot of solution focused approach. Okay. I'm also a mental health first aider. Okay, so anyone who has any symptom, if I see this thing, I can speak to them, I can understand their behavior and all that. I need to do a certification for that. So okay, come back. All right. So on top of all that, I'm a member of the Asian Society of Clinical Hypnosis, the British Society of Clinical Hypnotherapy, and integrative psychotherapy, British Society of Clinical Hypnosis, and Australian Society of Clinical Hypnotherapy. Why am I saying I member for all this? I am licensed to practice in Malaysia, in the UK, and in Australia. So I can see clients because the practice work or the code of conduct with the Ministry of Health, for example, NHS in the UK and Australian healthcare and Malaysian healthcare, I am licensed. Okay. Any question? Yes, so in people that this is the therapy part of paddling. Oh, paddling. That talks not everybody. Yeah, that's totally a different persona, different ego state I carry in here. This is a different me now. So two different roles. Okay, so now can you all introduce yourself? Okay, say what you guys do, and the most important thing, can you let all of us know if you are only okay, what the biggest thing you have been procrastinating so far? Okay, can we start with Nai?
What, really?
Yeah, why not?
That is that.
Yeah,
Better than that.
you want to distract and we could talk.
Okay, and I'm a colleague of Miss Rina's sister at a high school in fact. We teach English.
Okay.
I'm senior one and two students. What's finding another passion outside of teaching?
So is this something that you have been thinking for a long, long time?
Not really, but more intensively recently.
Okay. So is it because you said procrastinating? Is it something that you keep on thinking about it? Like, hey, I should start doing something. else?
I was very caught up with work for the past few months, so not so much thinking about it, but now that work is done, holidays is coming, so it's coming.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Nai. Thank you. Okay, Shivani. I know you, but you say all.
My name is Desha. I'm her niece.
No, no, no. You have to introduce yourself. There's no connection here. I'm your trainer today.
Please, my name, I don't know. I just finished my honors degree in neuroscience from Monash University. Congratulations. Biggest procrastination, I would say, academics, just in high school, I just did study last minute. I was able to do well with that, but it doesn't work the same. And I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, so that means when you do that last minute, they did give you lots of anxiety.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Shivani. Please.
Hi, my name is Shantini. So I am Miss Nice colleague. So both of us we are working in the same high school class, teaching English. So I guess my procrastination would be kind of similar to Miss Nice. We are trying to discover that we have other passions besides teaching. Like we are thinking of yeah, because we are. I mean, for me especially, I'm reaching the age of 60. So after retirement, what should I do? I don't want to go back and teach again. So what else I can do? Do I have any other talents? So I have to put more time and find out. So, but I'm procrastinating that. So maybe that's my
Thank you, thank you. Sir,
But so I got related with that.
I know you would.
I think we no, we but yeah, for this invite I find it. So I would say that the thing that I procrastinate the most, I was thinking about it, but I think I've been living my life differently. So I've been doing a lot of stuff. Work was fun and happy. I can point out one thing I think maybe outside of achievement, but other is more on relationship. Really, I did purpose to explore potential partners in this thing. So I think I really like caught up in life, personal life, family, work. Yeah, so I'd be nice to
Okay,
come up.
after the end of session, in a month's time, I'm going to see Naki with the partner.
Yeah, yeah. That would be.
Okay, please, please.
Hello everyone, I'm Jackie. I'm a grad designer.
Yeah, I read it for the first, but did I get it function? Yes. Yes, there's supposed to be another one who confirmed, but she's still not here. Yeah.
So, the thing that we thought, career,
Okay.
so, of course, yeah, and figuring that out.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Okay, please.
Hi everyone, my name is I'm from Yemen, and I'm working at a corporate company as an assistant supply management. And I do procrastinating. I think also family life, relationships.
Yes.
Yeah, speaking of people. That's also.
Okay, thank you, Fatma.
I don't know. That is the first time.
This is a very fun introduction.
Yeah, I got the right.
So I already do that. I'm deliberating. And I don't think, okay. So I don't believe like, I if I live my life to the fullest, so if there's anything to do, but it's true that we struggle with that other thing. Many years. The first one is getting my driver's license. Okay, that is a very good example. That I don't know why. I can move cross country, but I realize what I want to go. So, and the second issue I have is, I think I'm upset with something. It's not like I didn't do it before. I got an example. Maybe I just.
Okay, okay, makes sense. Thank you so much. I can't see your name. Did you write your name?
Thank you.
Okay, sorry. Want to? Can I keep your pens here? For more room, yeah.
Hello, my name is Palemi. I'm from Tunisia, and I'm a business consultant. Recently, I got my certification. I'm a life coach, and yeah, so I'm your journey to be free. That piece of curiosity there. I didn't know lots of struggle too. I think that's a career part is there too for me. So something that I'm on, but when it comes to procrastination, but the first thing that came to my mind when you mentioned she was like, okay, I'm very trouble to get it. So yeah, that's something that is what.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, thanks for all the introduction. So here, when we're talking about anxiety, procrastination, and everything, as much I noticed that few people here, they are saying that, no, I don't really, I can't think of it. I'm not really procrastinating much. I am pretty much okay and all that. But there are these little things. For example, laundry basket, folding clothes. These are all procrastination. The laundry basket will be there for 1 week. You'll be passing by and you look at it, it will be just there. That's also procrastination, lots of small things like for me, right? As much as I'm talking about this topic, I have lucky may understand this. We have this mandatory training by the company, virtual. So you need to, sit there for a few hours, do the assessment, pass it, and then you get the certification. And today is the deadline. I have not done it. I have said several times, plugging in. I mean, as much because my corporate job is busy. So you'll be doing a lot of stuff and all that. Of course, you can make time to do this. Not that I cannot make time to do this, but the moment I see it, I'll be like, okay, is there anything else fun? Or maybe I can go to, the ground floor to get coffee. Then maybe a colleague come, okay, let's have a chit chat. This can wait. These are all typical symptoms of problem. These are very small, but it affects. Like last night, I was busy preparing for all this, and then one of my HR colleagues was texting me, having some meetings. I doing this, and for example, I'm also actually studying right now. I'm taking up a new course. So my weekends are full. I'm also training to become a lecturer to teach clinical hypnosis. So actually, I know life. So apart from my corporate job, my weekends are busy. I have a teenager at home to deal with, and then the weekends are like this. So, like yesterday, I had class 4:30 to 8:30. Today, after this session, I have class 4:30 to 8:30. And when the message was coming in the class, I'm trying to focus, like, have you completed? Oh my God, the sort of anxiety I got, like, oh my God, why do I have to do it? I will come back there, personally tell why am I, because I know why am I behaving like that. So I can tell in real time what is it exactly happening. Okay, so today's flow, we're going to do stress and anxiety subject. So I hope you have all your phones because I'm going to give you a question and going to fill up just to check what's your stress level. So based on, say, 1 month or 2 weeks or 1 month, how your life has been, okay? And then how stress shows up in your body. We'll do some little bit of breath work. And then we learn about procrastination patterns and then distraction triggers. Who doesn't get distracted here? Raise your hand. Okay. And then the mind body too. The great research challenge is whatever technique we're going to do learn today, we do like a fun game, right? And then your 7 days plan. So the 7 days plan is up to you whether you want to do it or procrastinate. But what am I talking about procrastinate is simple thing. We want to lose weight. We want to do a new course. We want to do this like driving license, whatever. Most of the time during a workshop or training session, you would feel motivated and all that, right? Like, hey, I've learned this technique, I've learned this tools, right? Okay, let me apply it. The moment you go back home, what happens? Okay, so my question for you, for all of you, what, for example, we learn techniques, okay? It's like, okay, let me ask you a beautiful question. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, okay, Hafsa and Hadimi, tomorrow morning, you go to bed tonight, tomorrow morning you're waking up, when you think suddenly you see you have driving license on the website, how do you feel? You should ask the question. Yeah, achievement proud, emotionally relieved, happy, like, oh my God, I don't have to go through that thing. Less stress. Okay. So that means we know what is the end result if, for example, we don't procrastinate. We also going to learn very basic tools today, how to go about it, how to stop procrastinating. But we need work. You know the technique, you know the end result, like, oh my God, I'm going to feel so happy if I do that. Okay, so you know what's your future result. You know the technique, but what makes it what really, I mean, what do you think you need for all this technique to work? Can anyone tell me? Practice, okay. So let's do here. Practice. Mindset. Mindset. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. So reason of one avoiding, right? Anything else? You understand the reason, and then okay. Plan. Just do it. she's almost there. Because just doing is one of the techniques that we're going to cover. But there's something very important. Okay, let me go back. Two things really matter. You have to believe. For example, it's not about, I'm not really talking about today. When you're doing anything at all, if you don't believe in what you're doing, you think it will be successful. Right? So that's important. Discipline. 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 You know why I'm saying discipline is important? Because only when you enforce consistency, okay, for example, I have been trying to lose weight forever, okay, for quite some time, okay. I know how to lose weight. I know the techniques. Am I losing weight? No. Why? Because I don't have the discipline of, for example, I have to work out. I have to take care of my diet. I have to, stick to a routine. I have to eat on time. Am I doing all that? Why am I not doing all that? Because I'm not setting. I don't have a routine. I'm not being consistent. So for any technique to work, this both very important. Okay, so basically, whatever you're learning today becomes powerful only when you apply consistently. It's not only for today, I'm saying anything, right? Okay. So, what happens here? Stress triggers discomfort, and I'm recording and right now. So, this is the loop there. Study, avoidance, distraction. Avoidance is basically procrastination. So, stress basically triggers discomfort in all of us, right? What happens? We will try to avoid certain situations, right? Because that will lower the discomfort. And distraction is released. For example, okay, the trigger is say one WhatsApp message from your mother, from your spouse, or from someone really important. You know the issue is really important. But the trigger, the moment you see the message from that person, you're like, oh, the stress part here is I'm not ready to deal with that message yet. So what do? You don't want to read. You see the notification coming. Okay, you send me a work, WhatsApp. We most of the time that like, oh, from this person, right? And then we will leave it unread. Instead, what we do?
Yeah.
We may do like what I said just now, right? We will talk to our colleagues. I'm just saying in a work setting, we'll talk to our colleagues, or we scroll the phone, all that. So, of course, when you distract yourself, the relief is temporary, okay? The fine of watching your Instagram reel and all that. But did it solve your issue? Whoever sent the message, the issue is still going to be there. Right? So this is the loop that we're going to talk about today. Now, you want to understand your pattern? Let's do it. You can send the QR code. I will also put on into the loop. Okay, so just answer, think about the 5 minutes or so. Okay, before that, it doesn't automatically, because Google Form, right? It doesn't automatically count for you the numbers. So you use your pen and paper to count down. Okay? So each question, it will ask, is it always, never, rarely? There is a number associated with that, and you have to count that. Hmm?
Yeah, I think that is private because some people will be able to.
Okay, I think you guys feeling very full. I'm taking pictures. Is it okay with you guys? Yeah, that's why I say you need to count. Can you do that? Because each had a number. You see, that's why I was telling you need to manually count because the Google form you wouldn't add to you. Yeah, no problem. Sorry, yeah.
Yes.
See, all this is low stress, right? Okay, that means, it's not the menstrual. I don't think so everyone is here. Okay, who's the most stressful person here? I was so stressed in the morning. You know what? I mean, not so stressed. So, because yesterday I was setting up, the doors, right? So I had the HDMI cable, which was connecting from the projector to the laptop. Okay, so 2 hours, I did everything. Even last night, I think all was really good. In the morning, when I came to set up, it says no signal. I used another laptop, the laptop that I recording. It says no signal. So I was like, oh my God. But then we going to get there. I choose not to react but to respond. Okay, so we will also look at that. Right? So your results all done? Okay. So as you look out at your results, anyone want to share what stood out? The question when it comes to stress. Is it your body, like maybe some people experience chest tightness, or some people panic, some people, that my body is okay, so basically, the way your body responds, it shows through breathing. Okay? Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. When it comes to stress or anxiety, many of us tend to think whatever the body symptom, you think it's normal. Because you're so used to having on a regular basis, you think it's normal to have it. Whereas these are actually indications. We are just not being, obviously, mindful here, right? So anyone else, any other opinion, like, is there any question, surprise, like, hey, why they are asking like this? Most, I think, Hafsa and Fatma say they have body. Some people, they ruminate. You know what's ruminating means? Okay, ruminating means, say for example, something would have happened at your workplace. It may be an argument with a colleague. Yeah, right. Or your boss did not like the idea you presented, or anything like that, right? It bothers you at a level when you come back home, you're still thinking about it. Okay? You're going now to have dinner with your friend. You are having engaging in a different conversation, but your mind's still thinking about it. Okay, so that's what ruminating is. So that means some people in the mind, it keeps on running and running and running. So the stress part is parallelly happening. What is it mind behavior? Overthinking? Sorry? No. Just now I was talking about ruminating is about mind. I'm asking about overthinking comes under mind. Again, the one ruminating, I mean, you're continuously thinking. And overthinking is a very good point because overthinking part comes when you think about the issue and you already started thinking about the consequences. The thing wouldn't even have happened. What if it happens and ended up this way? You think of the worst. Okay? So that is overthinking, which is your mind. What about behavior? Yes?
That one.
Correct. So you snack, right?
Yeah.
Snack. And so, yeah, because we want to avoid, for example, that it's stress, right? You want a temporary relief, you distract yourself. Doom scrolling, movie marathon, Netflixing all the way, a series after series, fast comedy. I'm so bored telling all this because I'm familiar with all that. I'm doing it as well. I've been doing it as well. So that's how the stress, some people show it in bodily conditions, for some people mind, for some people behavior, for some people body, mind, and behavior. Yeah. Okay. So generally, if someone is stressed, okay, the neuroscience student can confirm what happens. Okay, when the body is undergoing stress, right? So the nervous system reacts first. That means, okay, let's do this. Actually, I need a signal now. Okay. So the nervous system, right? So there are two, when it comes to emotion, mind-body connection, I'm only specifically talking about mind-body connection. So there is something called sympathetic. You don't need to know this, huh? I'm not going to go technical here, and then parasympathetic. What you have to know is, okay, sympathetic is this, okay, light, light. Sorry, my handwriting is a bit supposed to be a doctor. Yeah. Okay, this is red diagram. Okay, and then this is the nervous system, the brain. Okay, so we have a part called amygdala. Okay, which is it gives how to say that it's the emotion signal. Okay, and then there's something called prefrontal cortex. I know it sounds technical, but it's just for the context of it, okay? So what happens? The brain, right? Brain will give emotional signal to the nervous system. Okay? For example, in this case, stress, okay? Something is bothering you. Automatically, the brain, how it interprets, oh God, there's a threat. Okay? When, just to let you know, our nervous system, naturally is built to protect us. So whenever our body interprets a threat, a threat can be anything. Even like for me, right? When mandatory training, it's a threat for me, right? It keep on giving me the signal like, oh my God, it's a threat to me. And automatically, flight. Flight means you don't want to deal with it. You're running away from it. Fight means you're fight with the situation. Okay? Freeze means you don't do anything. You don't know what to do. You just stuck there. Okay? So here, the nervous system, that's how it reacts. The brain will send the signal and then it reacts like that. Sorry. Okay. Then what happens with the heart rate? It beats faster. Okay? Heart rate increases, shallow breath, you'll be like, sign more and all that. Tight shoulder, tension shoulder, you feel, something sitting on your neck. restlessness, okay? You're always walking here and there, heaviness, pressure. So basically, when all these things happen, right, your body tightens and you can't think. You are unable to take any decision. Okay? Are you guys with me?
Yeah.
All good? Okay. So this is what I was explaining just now. So the amygdala, which is the part of the brain that deals with emotions, okay, it sends signal to the nervous system, okay, and then the prefrontal cortex gets silent. Prefrontal cortex is the brain part which thinks logically, okay, it helps with decision making, right? So the moment amygdala sends, say, hey, I mean, there is a danger awaiting you, prefrontal cortex like, okay, bye-bye, I don't want to be part of it. Okay? And then the nervous system goes into fight, flight or freeze mode, like I explained. Heart rate high, blood pumps faster. What happened to the body? The hormones, adrenaline and cortisol increases. And then what Fatma was telling, you have headache, and then sometimes bloatedness, all other body symptoms. Okay? So this is what anatomy, in the system wise, this is what happens. Any question on this? Okay. Next. So what happens when you are dealing with anxiety, right? So you feel the small task. When you are under stress, even smaller things, you will feel it's like a huge deal, right? And then because you feel that, oh my God, this is such a big deal, it obviously lends your motivation, right? And then you're unable to take any decision because there's no mind clarity. You'll be thinking like, oh, how, is it this or that? Can I go ahead and do it? I have no idea. Okay, mental clutter. Okay, just like my desk here, your mind and brain with a lot of clutter, hindering focus. Obviously, you cannot focus when you are under stress. With all this, do you think you can be efficient as a human being doing any task? So now, this is the first technique. I call it 5-breath reset, right? I will also tell, just now we were going through what happens when our body under stress, right? So when we use this technique, what happens to the same body? Okay. Now, who breathes here? Siapa, who breathe here? Are we breathing here? Anyone under any assistance? Okay. Let me tell you, all of us breathe very carelessly. As much as, of course, to live, we need to breathe. Okay, oxygen intake, carbon dioxide outside, all that thing is fine. But we are breathing carelessly. Okay. Breathing is something you need to be conscious. We can't do it. I mean, because as I'm talking, as you are listening, we are all breathing. But I can see Nakib, stay with me, say hey. Okay. So, when we consciously breathe, okay, it does really help a lot. Okay. Whenever you think, something hitting up and all, just inhale, exhale. It makes a difference. But focus, inhale, exhale. When you do it with focus, that's the careful breathing, not a class. Okay. So here, the 5-breath reset. It's very simple. Inhale on the count of 4. You hold it 4. Count of 2. Exhale. Count of 6. Repeat 5 cycles. Okay. So when you continuously do this, it does a lot of goodness to your brain, to your nervous system, to the entire body. Okay? Want to do? Try? Okay, come. Let's do it. Okay? Inhale. Hold for 2. Exhale very slowly. Do it for 5 times. Be done for 5 times. Exhale. Repeat this. There are repeat right here. It's because the brain automatically signaling that you are safe. Okay, you are in a very comfortable position, and you know. So also, I think that Nasti Limba is doing something for some people. It's not a friend for getting into the Nasti Limba, but okay. Move on to what we discussed just now. So the moment, okay, you are under stress and you're just inhaling and exhaling, what happens here in the brain? It thinks, you know, the amygdala part of the brain understands that there's no threat. Okay? And then prefrontal cortex, which the part of the brain just now was thinking, you know, related to decision making. It gets restarted. So that means you have better clarity, right? Nervous system goes into the calm rest digest mode. Okay, the parasympathetic. Heart rate lower, so you have full-fledged blood flow. Okay, and then the body, the adrenaline, cortisol. Anyone know what is these hormones? Cortisol. You know, right? For most people, it's a stress hormone, cortisol. Okay, and then endorphin. Endorphin is the good hormone, right? It increases, makes your lightheaded, digestion, your entire system gets aligned, so you can make do a better decision making and better clarity. What are they? Okay. Okay, now let me check the mind. Uh, because you guys are like, you know, can you look it up? What I'm doing. Okay. Can see? I mean, those who cannot see, you spread out in front. Okay. Okay. Okay, say I am human, not a robot. Okay, put the robot can keep on doing that. Okay. Right. Now, I'm just thinking, we take a break. We want a small break or we continue first? Okay, let's do it. I also need. After we do this, we have 2 new participants who joining us, so they will introduce themselves. Consent form.
So basically what happened was then we technically the guy is how to do it. If you don't even the website, I say that so you can once you have to go to the based on anything show which yeah. So then we also have something. So basically, that's why we have the presentation that we need what can be. And then gradually, like example, some people will get family change, whatever. So that so this one in your mind, maybe not to overthink. You need to and then or the behavior of the students, or what students, what if you're done, maybe we'll move to the next one, the avoidance part. Okay. Do you guys have any experience? You will find out. Yeah. Okay. It's okay because every individual they again we react in a different way. Yes, yes, this is great. Yes, it is body reaction. Usually, the skin problem is directly connected to your gut health, and that's also directly connected to. Yeah. Okay. What is hard answering? Hard to be a woman, it's hard to be a human. Yeah, it's also hard to be a man. Especially one man who's the road here. Okay. Okay, jokes aside, movie time. Okay, so observe closely, see what exactly, his body language, what is he doing, his actions around them, yeah. First educating, you can see it here, right? Okay. The sound comes because I'm broadcasting. You say it a bit later.
opposite color here. Sorry, this one.
And here, right? You want me to? Okay. So like I said, um, okay. So we saw that what that guy was doing. I need to. Okay, we watched that movie, right? What you notice, what felt relatable, what emotions. Okay, let's discuss on what felt relatable in the whole thing just now.
One of the reasons not to do this will happen.
So there is a job there, a task there. He is doing everything else except the job, right? Is it something relatable for you guys?
Very
Okay. What else?
then try to motivate yourself and after that picking yourself up. And then after that doing shit and after that start
Yeah. I mean, is it something we do also? Relatable? Yes. And then, of course, whatever we discussed, choosing the distraction over, he was playing with the lamp, he was playing a video game. What else he was doing? He was on Amazon, he even got something from Amazon and all that. Yeah.
So the feeling is
Actually, what was the most thing that they were keep on showing is the list. Is the task itself was, pushing you off, right? Okay. What emotions was being avoided? Correct. The stress. What else? Why do you think that guy need to edit the video? Why do you think he doesn't want to? What do you think the reason he doesn't want to go there at all?
Fear of failure.
Correct. Another one? Any other reason? Fear of failure. Anyone? Okay, that's good. That means where to start, right? Usually we have that engine problem, where to start, when to start, how to start, right? What else?
Sometimes we, I feel like, for example, people say, like, always and life. Even if it's a lot, I was also talking about what night. It's nothing that I don't have to relate to. But
It's definitely more. Because this is what I'm saying, like the example I gave just now, my mandatory training, they have given me enough time to do it. But maybe my problem here is I have a reason. My reason is I don't know about how in other organizations, but here in my organization, what happens with the training, right? It's long, it's boring. Okay, it's long, boring, it's very technical. And deep down, I always feel that whatever I'm doing, yes, knowledge will be there, but it's not something I'm enjoying. I'm unable to focus, so it's going to be useless to me. And most of us, how we do, you just next the video, and then when it comes to attempting the assessment, we play around. Wrong, next. This time you're getting it correct. So that's my thing, because for me, I find it, I'm not resonating with it. Hence, I'm avoiding. So every one of us have different reasons, right? And then when, sorry. And then, when did the distraction appear? For him, in the video, when did you think he started distracting himself for that? Immediately, the moment, because it says, the moment they showed the list, he started doing something else, right? And then, what kept the list going? Usually what happens when we avoid something, we procrastinate something, what happens? Simple example of, say, laundry not being folded, washing clothes not being folded, what happens? You feel bad, and then, yes, that's one. But have you guys thought, for example, when you don't, if the laundries keep on accumulating, right, the pile is growing. So when it comes to tasks, the least going to get increase. That's the reason, if you notice, when they will keep on showing the list, right, keep on saying, when the deadline, he will be answerable for many stakeholders, right? Cost. Time is money. Maybe he has to submit something. It's not happening. He may not get payment if he doesn't submit his video on time or anything. So this is what keep the loop continues to going. You get anxious, you still procrastinate, you go for a temporary relief, and then the cycle continues. Right? So why we procrastinate? Okay, we avoid tasks that we find it overwhelming. Like I told you, right? My mandatory training, I find it very overwhelming. Too much technical information. And I don't want to do it. Okay? Some people avoid tasks because of uncomfortable. There can be major life decisions that we need to take. Okay? But we wouldn't want to take because maybe confronting with certain people, maybe confronting with certain situations, is going to give a lot of discomfort.
right? Because of that, we will think, okay, never mind, like this week, I'll do something. But also, sometimes we procrastinate, there's no clarity. You don't know what's happening. Okay, so then we procrastinate. When we think, certain things is just too big emotionally, too big when it comes to workload. All of us who are going to office, we can resonate with it. Okay? And then there's fear, emotionally heavy. Fear of everything, fear of confrontation, fear of failing, fear of anything. We have a benchmark, certain expectation that we have to meet. We just assume that, I can't do it. So the fear lingers. So the good news is procrastination, when we are avoiding something, when we are not folding our laundry, we are not washing our clothes, it's not really us. It's just avoiding because we are not comfortable. We don't want to feel that way, right? Are we all in this room? Anyone on the bed? Anyone thinking about lunch? Everyone say hey. Okay. Now, this one, identify your procrastination pattern. Okay, this shows, it's a bit longer questionnaire, but you can understand on what context you're avoiding the task. Okay, take some time to do it. This is just to understand your pattern. This will let you know both the, I will put also in the WhatsApp questionnaire. Okay, here the trick is you will be under that pattern only if you answer always, often and always. The rarely sometimes it doesn't count. Okay, so wherever the section you are going, right? Only in that section there are 5 questions each section. Only in that section you have most often or always, then you have. Okay.
Sorry, which one? It's another word. That, I mean, it's not about anything one, it's what you have to just answer what you think. If you think that's something, just answer in the again, and you will know in the other people in your study, the pattern is not how to do it. So basically, often it moves only each category, if you have a value, so that's the category one. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I sometimes I do yeah, sure.
So I do my readiness but I do some
No, no, it's fine. So for each pattern, right, there's often, almost always, right? If you have that, yeah, 3 or 4, so you have that pattern. No, some no.
For example, I don't know anything. For example, here I only have
Everything is 3. That means you're okay. That means you don't really fall into any pattern. Maybe it's not, like for example, the driving license. Why do you think?
that's the
Okay. So you have 4.
I have 4 years.
Yeah.
Example, in this one. So I comes to report. And yeah, so 4. How do I do this? I just
No calculation here. So this is what I'm saying. If in that section, if you happen to have often or always, then automatically you go in that category.
or it can have like zero.
Yes, because that is also interrelated. So, for example, some people they procrastinate because of emotional fear, like maybe some big decisions in life you have to take. Say, for example, you have to move abroad because of certain situations. It's a huge deal, you're leaving your family and all that. But you don't want to do it because you have that fear emotionally, right?
Actually, I think the one also to clarify as well.
It's fine. It's fine.
For example, yeah, I'm dealing with one of them street. Doesn't mean I have a
That means you don't have this pattern at all. That means emotional avoidance is not your pattern. So if you happen to have,
for example, someone is sick. This
you have. So so you have that pattern.
oh,
Yeah. 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 No, but most of the time the reason is interlinked. Yeah. So that means you are procrastinating because you have all these factors due to that you're procrastinating. Yeah, there's no one person will have specific factors. It's all connected. Yeah.
overwhelmed.
That's okay. Because this is what the whole thing is we are trying to fix. It's not a disease or whatever. It's just we are doing things out of beyond control. So once we are aware, we know the techniques and we have the discipline to apply it, then we can overcome it. Yeah. Okay, so basically, again the loop, right? We get stressed, hence we avoid certain things. In order to get a temporary relief, we get distracted, which gives you the relief away. And then you feel guilty because you're not supposed to do what you're supposed to do, which results in more stress. Okay, that's the loop all about. Okay, the distraction part, right? Actually, I have a video to play, but because the sound is not really helping because the guy talks a lot.
background,
Sorry,
click at the background, then he finds the sound of, or maybe the existing sound is not loud enough.
then I think for some reason, he not turning off
You can try turning off the fans maybe
the fan.
yeah.
Okay, we'll try. Okay. Looking down. Can you?
When Dave reach out, grab the soul fucking drink. Rolling, information over, chief record company. On. It's super. I tell you. The meaning I'm being adopted. That's just the reason for this is now.
Okay.
The case thing. But the motion itself. And waiting from beautiful to beautiful mundane. I'm first. Forget the check. Try phone. In the ground. And each step of you to determine the right ways. Each one of you is on that.
You can hear, but it's
I
not.
will find. I will find this. But with you. I will mind. There's a book. Then I'll scroll from there.
Okay. Okay. What the video was about, can someone, can we discuss what exactly happened just now?
Validating the doom scrolling.
Sorry?
Finding a way to validate doom scrolling.
Yes. Someone, okay, what happened? His life was of, the moment he wakes up, he getting distracted. Okay, he checks his phone, doom scrolling, habitual scrolling, whatever you call it, Instagram. Okay, and then he took a decision. He said, okay, let's change this, let's do something productive. Okay, so the next morning he wakes up, what happened? He, changes into his clothes. He went for a hike, trekking or whatever. Okay, walk. And then what happened? He ended up scrolling then. So basically what it means is, why we do that? Why we are doing the doom scrolling most of the time? The simple answer is, it's a quick relief, right? That means you don't want to actually deal with the sorry.
I guess. It's moving here, it's not moving there. It's just moving. Okay, so basically what it does is, the phone scrolling or distraction is quick release, right? Why? Because we have the fear of confronting the actual issue. And why we have that fear? There's no right or wrong. Why do you think we have that fear? Just now, Jacqueline, you asked, right? Because the outcome, sometimes something that is not pleasant to us, we don't want to face it. Okay, so because of that, emotionally we would be avoiding. So another solution is, okay, we don't want to face the uncertainty, face the very unpleasant outcome. Let's do something fun. Scroll. Okay, it gives quick comfort. It gives dopamine hit, right? The screen actually give you the dopamine hit. Dopamine is a happy hormone, right? And then escape from your actual situation gives temporary calmness, but unfortunately, issues that bring the stress state. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. It's scrolling here, but not here. Okay. So what are the strategies we can do um, for this avoidance? For the distraction. Basically, these are the techniques we already know. Keep your phone far away, set screen limit for your apps. You know, right? We can do that. Yeah. So you can just in a day, spend 30 minutes for Instagram. After that, automatically the timer will lock the app and so that it won't. Yes, I think we should have to do that. Okay. And notifications. You know how distracting it is, the WhatsApp, and we are all in thousand groups. And the notification, that itself is very easy. So you can just turn off your notification. And maybe, after some time, just open your WhatsApp or whatever, just to check what is there. Because at the end of the day, if you're not if you're not in the social media business or whatever, you don't really need to have notifications for your Instagram. If your friend posting something, you don't really need to, Another distraction also, clutter. Okay, so for example, you have your workspace, right? There are a lot of things that also a distraction. When you're trying to do something, you will suddenly see something, you fidget on that, right? So if you have a clear space, that also will avoid distraction. You can fully focus on what you do.
Being in the space is actually
Yes, that's what I mean. That's what I want. So don't think, shouldn't really push everything away. Okay, because this clutter, right? Actually, it is a very relevant thing. Clutter, be it in mind, be it your space, it affects. Okay, if you are in a space that is totally cluttered, there's so many things and all that. Emotionally, our brain actually connects with the environment you are in. So it tends to distract you. You check, for example, you're working in a dining table, there are some cookies, there's something that automatically while you're doing, you want to do that, go there. Okay? And I don't know how you have experienced, like for me, right? If at times that I know this thing, this stuff is very important for me, okay, I have to do it. Okay, for example, I have a case study that I have to submit to the institute that I'm studying, right? It's very big thing. I have to sit, spend time, do it. But instead, I have the time, right? What I will do, I'll go wash the laundry, I'll clean the entire house, you know, release every kind somehow. Yeah, so that's also a distraction, right? Now, the power of anchor technique. Anyone heard of anchoring? What is anchoring? Anyone know? Okay, anchoring basically it's your own personal button. Okay, why we press that button? Sometimes, okay, we pressing the switch on. Okay, it's like a switch or button, whatever you call it. When you turn on the fan button, it pulls the space. When you turn on the light, it gives light. So something like that, relevant to it. Anchoring technique is something that you have inbuilt. You just need to activate that so it gives the reminder. That is the anchoring. Okay. Hang on. I'm just trying to check if I am in the same page. I think I missed earlier this exercise because I was scrolling, right? That's why I thought, why I'm suddenly in anchoring. Okay, so we were still talking about, how we distract ourselves, right? Scrolling and all. Sometimes, while we are doing something, you actually prepare an entire lunch, on that time we will eat and all that. So this is how we distract, right? So I can actually share the presentation slide with you, no problem. Thank you. Yeah. I think this now when I was scrolling, that's why am I suddenly anchoring? Because it's a very late hour. Sorry, guys. Sorry. It's moving here, it's not there. I don't know what's happening. I need to go to it. Yeah. Can I see? Sometimes the entering part, but that's the idea. Because we I jumped the slide just now, right? Okay, so now we're done with the distracting part. I just want to, understand, you understood the connection, right? The anxiety part, the procrastination part, and the distraction part. Somehow we understood our stress level, our pattern, procrastination pattern, and usually whatever pattern you have, how we distract ourselves instead of addressing the issue. Okay, we have done the, for anxiety, we did the breathwork techniques. Okay, whatever the five breath reset thing, it's just a very, very basic one, inhale for 4, hold it for 2, exhale for 6. There are plenty of breath work you can Google out and check. Okay, you can even check, for different type of stress, there are different type of breathing techniques. Okay, which it really activates, all your nervous system and everything. So I would recommend to just Google that up. But what I want to remind you is try to consciously breathe. Take a good deep breath and focus on your breathing, and it makes a lot of difference there. Now we have covered that part. The second one, I'm not sure when I prepared this slide, it's supposed to be 1, 2, 3, but I have not yet. Okay, so the second technique is reframe mind. Your cognitive, what's cognitive? Your thoughts, yeah. Reframing. Okay, so basically how it works is when it comes to a situation, okay, instead of reacting to it, how we can view it differently. The result is it will give less emotional burden to you. You're not going to get any solution for that. If you thinking this technique, reframing and all that will give a solution, you can take decision. Yes, for mental clarity, you can take decision, but emotionally it will be less burden. Okay, which means you can think better, right? And then other technique is shrinking the task, micro steps. This is for procrastination. Okay, thought swap. Old thought. Usually, when we are in a very stressful situation, right? Okay, we are saying like this, for example, oh, I can't do this anymore. Okay, instead of thinking in that way, I can't do this, you can think against start small. That is reframing your thought. Okay, you're swapping from the something that you absolutely don't like to something better, minimally. Okay, when you say it's too much, okay, when you, for example, you will be with colleagues who are not in the same wavelength, mental wavelength, then they are always disagreement, something that is not you will be thinking it's too much dealing with that person. So what you can think is, okay, in order to deal with that, what's the easiest path? Where is the loophole? Okay? You're doing something overwhelming, you think I'm doing. Instead of that, you can see, let me try step 1, small by small. So that is basically thoughts. Any questions? Okay, now your workbook. I think there's an exercise. Right here. Okay, you want to just think of your situation and do that? Sorry, I'm not familiar with it.
yeah. Sorry. Okay, this one is very good. Okay, so I know the third execution. Okay. What situation, for example, in an office setting, maybe you received email from your client, despite explaining, how it works, the client is not cooperating, something like that. Is that trigger any situation? I'm just trying to relate to your any situation that trigger unhelpful thoughts. Like for example, yeah, like for example, you may be talking to someone, okay, you already explained to him, but then he said, no, I know it was this way only. Then suddenly you think, what I told you, this is how you, yeah. So that's one situation. Practical, any practical situation, which gives you stress, and suddenly you start thinking like, oh God, I have no, now we are talking, it can trigger procrastination, it can trigger stress, it can trigger thinking, but here, what we are trying to learn is, in a stressful situation, you're not gonna, oh, this is very stressful for me, okay? You won't be happy. You'll be thinking, you will be thinking something. Yeah. Your personal, I can choose. You can choose anything, even a simple situation. Arguing with your mother, arguing with your sister, your uncle, whoever, which even a conversation about a topic which may give you a thoughtful, okay? Like I told you, right? I am supposed to do this mandatory training, right? Which the deadline is today.
The amount of thinking I was like, oh my God, why do I have to do this? It's not helping me, right? Why I have to do that? It's a waste of time. I have to, sit 2 hours. How can I be creative? How can I think? No, I can do this. Now this is what I thought of myself. After this session, I told you, right, I have class 4:30 to 8:30. Okay. After the break, after attending the session, all I thought was, I actually have another, 10 hours. I can do it. Because certain things you can't escape. Yeah, you cannot escape. Just because also sometimes when we think about things like, it's not being helpful. You want, as much as you want to fight it, you are stuck in a system. It can be your company, it can be your society, it can be something that you cannot come out, right? You cannot change. So only thing is to change the view you have on that situation. Yeah. Do I make sense? So basically, what I'm trying to say here is, if your thought process is the way you think is becoming helpful to you, which in relation, lowering your emotions, you have much more stable emotions, like you're not angry about it, you're not disappointed about it. Instead, you're looking at the solution focus. It's okay, instead of me, just keep on telling that this is not helpful. I do need to do it. Instead, I just reframe myself thinking that I'll just do it. And then again, the miracle question that I asked in the beginning of the question session, right? Just think, tomorrow when you wake up, suddenly you see your training completed or whatever deadline completed, it's all done, submitted. What feeling you will have? The feeling of relief, like, oh my God, I don't have to deal with this anymore. Keep that kind of feeling inside. Think about it. That will also propel you to, or have a better. Because one of the questions yes. Yeah, when you say now that when you see it done, actually that's the no. So that means that you want to avoid the situation because the outcome will be here. That question, right? Okay. I'll tell you why that question there. When we are dealing with certain situations, right? When we're talking about outcomes can be pleasant and unpleasant. Okay? It can be in any situation, right? For example, when it comes to a relationship, for example, you happen to have a boyfriend, okay? But it's not working out. You need to break up. What is the outcome if you break up? You don't want to face that. So that's what it's talking about. I'm just giving an example, some real-time situation. Okay. Did I answer your question? No, I want you to ask questions, please. Because sometimes interacting like this, asking questions, we can learn more. That's speaking Okay, so that means even if you think it's a pleasant outcome, I feel you may connecting the outcome with something not pleasant. You keep on connecting. Okay, so instead of I've done with it, now what? What can be your helpful thought? Let's do an answer. Yeah, how can you think? Okay, can anyone help Fatma here? Okay, I mean, let's do a little bit of brainstorming here. She's saying, even though completing a task, okay, by completing a task, and it gives a satisfying outcome for her, yet she feels not really satisfied because she thinks, then what's next? How can we reframe her thought? Any idea?
Is that a burnout situation?
No, I think she wants more and more. Sorry. Yeah, or still there's always one. So basically, I'm starting getting now what. So oh now we can do something video. So let's move forward. I can go. I don't know. I don't know. What's next? Yeah, but that's what she said, that what's next is giving her the, and that means you're connecting with uncertainty. So you have an answer. How do you think?
Because actually, when we really thinking that I was something to do, it's giving me the feeling that I'm doing something.
You feel productive.
And I'm not doing it, but I'm productive. When I didn't feel like so I don't have anything more to do about it. If I can, I have it in my mind that I feel like I should thinking about it, but I will not do it. When I do it, I feel like I want to do it because now I know it's now. But then that's not it. Way easier.
Can anyone answer this question? What would be the helpful thought for her? Because for her, she's saying that she has to keep on doing stuff because then she feels productive. So basically, once she completes a task, right, she feels not so happy because what she's thinking is, I don't have anything to do after this, right? So what she can read, how she can respond to this situation.
I think only about work. I mean, like when I finish the work task, I can do my second task. Like,
Yeah, he gives an answer. That means you have done the work done, then related to some entertainment.
That's right.
Okay, Fatma, you give me an example. Okay, did you recently complete a task? Then we will play from there.
I'll give you an example. Okay, so if you're thinking I need to clean my mind will be doing of thinking of so I also have this.
So basically, you clean your room in your mind.
Yes, and so keep it in my mind, and I don't care. But then in my mind, I have something to do later.
Okay.
If I did it, I'll think, now I don't need to do it.
Okay. Do you think if you think about doing two things, will it help you? That means think, oh, I have to clean the room. Okay, I have to wash the clothes. Do you think that will help you? That means at least once you clean the room, you know the next thing is you have to put the laundry. Is that a helpful thought? No, I'm not asking you. Do you think that will be helpful? So have a to-do list from now on. I'm thinking you put once you complete something, I think, oh, at least I have number two, number three, and so many things to move forward. So this is how the whole thing, again, individually, we react to different things, right? You see, for me, I thought it's a very weird way of reacting. Because I'm not, most of us maybe, once we complete the task, we like, we have done it. Whereas she wants more tasks, right? Of course.
It can be an institute actually for being non-meeting with that. Because I feel like we always have a lot of things to do. But for her, I think she just defines that looking to like exact.
There's something called secondary gain. Have you heard about secondary gain? Okay, usually for clinical setting, right? People will come for issues, okay, to therapy. Okay, say a client is coming to me for an anxiety issue, okay, severe anxiety, okay, small things trigger and hyperventilate, all that kind of thing. Okay, given solution, doing breath work, doing a lot of intervention. Each time when I see that client, okay, the symptom reduces, feeling okay, but the client still wants to come and talk to me. In this scenario, what do you think? Is she coming to me because her symptoms still persist, or for some, is there any other hidden reason? What is the other reason? Yes. To leave. Yes, maybe she thinks talking to me is a safe space. That's her secondary reason. Exactly. I was actually expecting that answer. Yes, she was getting the attention from me. There's someone listening to her. Even though she doesn't have that anxiety problem, she's coming for, she keep on coming, talking, telling them, oh, this happened to me, this happened to me. So she's getting the right attention. So maybe, I think in your situation, right, you might keep on, you don't want to move on to the next part because something is pulling you, which is equivalent of a secondary gain. Because you're still stuck there, you're feeling something. Maybe you're feeling safe just being there.
Maybe. For example, I have a job to do. I'll prepare everything, prepare all the things needed and everything, so I'll put all in an email. I don't know. I don't know. How did I see maybe after oh, because maybe the ending. Also, this we finished with that. No? Like I want to stay there. I know that's not going to be this. And that's why doing other things.
So you're finding comfort there in that situation. I'm just generally telling because sometimes human behavior, right? It's so deep rooted. It needs much deeper intervention. But now we are just in a training session. We cannot deep dive into that. It can be any reason. But I'm just generalizing, telling that maybe you find some comfort or safe space or, just being there wherever. Okay. Yeah. But also what the helpful thought that we need to work on that. We need to find a solution of intervention for that. We can speak on that. Okay. Where will we just now?
Maybe Fatma should change jobs because there is always many next.
Yeah, people that throw the next. Be also the work setting itself. Sometimes when you continuously doing the same mundane task, there's no challenge. We can also think in that way. There's no challenge. You are just doing the same thing. I think you also get stuck in that. So maybe a helpful thought is how can I challenge? Like for me, right? I was studying about the personal journey because of that. I thought that I've done enough with corporate, so I want to do because I find it passionate. Right? So yeah. Any other questions from the book? No, we have not gone there yet. I think I keep on pressing this. Okay, now we have done this. Let's move on to reacting versus responding. Also, which is so relevant to the thoughts work. Okay, simple thing. Okay, let's take an example. Nine. Can you give us an example in a school setting of a situation that not so pleasant that you have to regularly deal with? Can be with students, can be with your peers, or any example? Can be even, marking long essays and students, the way they write anything.
Yeah, marking and my perfectionistic and wanting to give detailed feedback.
Okay,
And
so
so
that
they just keep on making the same errors. We teachers have been talking about that. How do we turn around certain certain errors? It's an uphill task when you have to cover a lot of things.
okay, so for example, okay, the exam just finished, you will receive, your essay papers from your students, right, to mark. Okay. The moment you see, you started going and there's a lot of grades you're going through, what's your reaction? The moment you see the sentence, you start reading it, what's your reaction?
Because I used to be an editor, so I'm just tendency of wanting to, give very detailed feedback or corrections to how to learn the skill because I cannot have one-to-one session with them. So I try to give detailed feedback. I even consulted ChatGPT on this tendency of mine because I was short of time. So ChatGPT came back saying you shouldn't go in a detailed manner. You need to protect your mental health and short of time. But still, I push.
Okay, so I think ChatGPT already gave you how to respond to that.
Yeah. ChatGPT has been the validation assurance that, okay, since you want to revert back to your old method, okay, this is the timeline that you should stick to, and things. Just to help me survive that marking.
Okay. Shavina, what about you in your workplace? What sort of situation that instantly you react to?
So when I go to like, let's say this one, I want
Can't hear from here. You need to raise your volume.
for example, I go in for 15 pension.
Okay.
So when I see that everyone is occurring in so in this mind, when I go in, tell them, okay, you have these issues, fix it out before you come to the So sit down with them, I'll go through it, I'll say, okay, how to fix it, and fix them the way to do something. But again, when I go back again the next month, the same thing is that. So that triggers me, I'm like, I need you a solution, how to fix it.
Okay. So basically, your reaction would be like, hey, how many times, I have to go through the same thing of explaining. Okay, how do you think here the situation is, okay, now I give you the clue. Did you actually rule out these people are repeating the same pattern, right? Can you change them? But can you change the view you have on that situation? So this is what I'm trying to tell. Instead of reacting, which giving you more stress, maybe we can find a way how to respond to this situation. Okay, completely change the view. Okay, now I'm just opening the floor. In her situation, right? How do you think? She already knows her colleagues or whoever she's dealing with, they cannot change. She has done her best explaining and all that. But the same thing is happening. So what she can do in this situation? How she can respond instead of reacting to the situation? Can someone suggest? Nakib, you are working as well. How?
I need to have a good understanding of what happened in the field of job, for example, and to people the issue makes the colleague who then be like that. So I maybe give
You want to explain to him? She's in the food safety inspection, right?
why they only do like that? Is it like competitive or is it because of the rule? But I don't know like about that. What you get.
Yeah.
So when I tell them that this is a small thing that we can rectify, but it's always there. So like what Dina said is the way of how I see it. Like communicating solutions is actually one way or one way. So maybe I try to apply other methods to see how I can rectify it.
Yeah, so that's one way to respond. And also here what we are mindful looking at is the situation. That means you, for example, you're going to meet them again tomorrow, say, okay, for the same issue, okay? That means you already, how to say, anticipate this is going to be the end result. Can you control your reaction? No, okay, I know you can't, but do you think we can, just to minimize our emotional burden, do you think we can control that? That means not prep ourselves. Don't have your expectation high because you already know that's their benchmark. This is what I'm saying, how we can change the view of the situation. So instead we can think like, anyway, these people are like that. I have no expectation. Let's see what happens today. Something like that. So that means agree to disagree. And that you wanted to say something.
Repair, it's the food by something that can't be overlooked or make it's something that's important. So I have the concern that it's something it's a must. It's not something that you can talk about and it's a flexibility whether you can do or not. Yeah. So
but here in her situation, right? You say it's food safety, it's very important. No one should not compromise. You are thinking like that, she's thinking like that. Because, for example, as a job that she's honestly doing, right? She's taking accountability. Not many people, they do a job, they take accountability. And we are dealing with this kind of people in and out things. Okay, some take responsibility, accountability, some they just doing it for the sake of doing it, right? So again, knowing there are this kind of people, how do we respond to the situation? Because you end of the day, we all know we cannot change them. We tried, we told them this how the method. After repetition, it did not change, right? So yeah.
Yeah, it's also easier because we've all been in situations where there's a picture words, but I think that in this case, she is very important because we're looking for a better outcome. But I don't think that the outcome that are changing that's going to be the same, but the way we see it, we perceive situations that are different. So we cannot put pressure on ourselves. We don't have control over the situation. So we need to change how we see it. Like as you mentioned, accept that they all
Yeah.
So when I go, I have very low expectations. Like I'm gonna keep it. I was thinking that we're gonna do maybe changing the environment I work in for another organization.
Yes.
But I cannot force myself to make the change because they want. Because it's making me feel actually worse without actually reaching the outcome that's in my head that I want to reach.
So basically, inherently, right? Since people actually controlling you, controlling your emotion, why would you want to do that? Right? So yeah, so that's a good point. So usually when we know when we cannot change a situation, it can be in your professional workplace, your personal life, your relationship, be it anything, in order to minimize. Here, the key here is we are talking about emotions. Okay? Solution is up to all of us. You are in a certain setting, you are in a certain situation. We can always, like what she said, you don't want to deal with these people. What is the next solution? Look for other job. We can move on. Okay? You don't want to be in a certain situation. You remove yourself out of from the situation. But you can't also just think like that. Okay, I don't like it. You can't immediately remove yourself. Meanwhile, the interim period you are there, what you can do to minimize your emotions. See things differently. Change your the way you view that situation, view that person, view anything, right? And then, meanwhile, you find a solution. Do I make sense? Okay. So this is the reason I'm saying reacting and responding. It makes a difference. The breach is one slow breath. Okay, react is like an autopilot. Okay, you see, for example, whoever have kids, all right, right? Like I have a teenager at home. Okay, I react. No one can stop me the moment I react. But I also know, if I just take that one moment pause instead of reacting just like maybe a minute like that, then I may respond to the situation. I may have avoided shouting or screaming. I may have wouldn't have let out unpleasant words or anything like that. So that is why when I say when we come into managing our emotions, our stress and all, to change our unhelpful thought to something that will help you instead of reacting, responding to the situation makes hello. It's easy to say, very difficult to do. Yeah, but we have to try again once more step. Okay, this is a fun game, but I'm going to skip this part because anyway, when I share the what the text later, right? You just play around. It's just to understand, when you react to something, how much is your emotional cost, how much is the practical cost, and how much time there's the time it's not PO and PIP spelling error. Okay, you count and then you can find out, is it worth losing this much of money over a small thing just because you do it. Okay. Okay, everyone is with me still. Say hey. I just want to make sure because I know it's the topic is a bit can be also pull us down, but yeah. So micro-step method for change to wealth resistance. So there are 2 mini gateways, next tiny step, and reward sandwich. So basically, we have to start small. This is the micro-step method for change means for the procrastination part. You can go under any pattern of confrontation, task may be overwhelming, anything be it, whatever pattern you are in, you have to do next. You can't just stuck in that room because it's giving us more anxiety. Okay? So basically, I think there is exercise is well, right? Yes, yeah, the micro step. So you can put your avoided task. What can I do this for the minute? And then what is the next step? This one reward sandwich you pause there because then I will explain after you have that. Okay.
That means no need to start with you recording. Because basically, the last 30 minutes, we are recapping it all. The rewards was not given, but I cannot have it. Yeah. 2 minutes get made. You are doing the task, for example, you have to do a design. Okay, you start, sometimes people have the starting problem. You just will be sitting in front of the computer, you will just like, how, and all that. So just starting, give 2 minutes to yourself. Then think what next you can do. This one more procrastination, yeah? Like for example, we can discuss about your driving license. Okay, you're supposed to take the 2 minutes is what can you do? So Hitesh is gonna give the number of the school operator, right? Traffic school operator, driving school, sorry. Yeah, and then the next time is that maybe just sign up, pay money. Right. Because the next time is that we have to really make the house. Yeah. Let's take the next with the Okay, so the reward sandwich, it can be reward sandwich, can be reward cake, whatever reward. You are rewarding yourself. Okay. Okay, why rewards matter? Why rewards matter? Okay, they give the brain a quick dopamine hit, right? They build momentum. Okay, they build momentum in the sense that they keep the reward will keep you will want to make you keep on going.
Motivated.
Yeah, they reinforce discipline and not pressure. You know why I could actually just page for this? Because what happens? What happens when we think about reward? The golden rule keep rewards tiny and supportive, not the loophole to escape the world. Because the loophole, I mean the reward, you may want to, I've done 2 minutes, but let me watch 1 hour my series. No,
You don't want to get into that avoidance procrastination. You don't reward yourself like that. Here, the reward I'm talking about is the 2 minutes you're telling, right? Maybe take a deep breath. You see, I put right. Maybe you take a sip of water. Okay? And then maybe a short walk. Come back. Or just say, oh, thanks. I did it. I finally started it. Something like that. That's the reward I'm talking about. Yeah? Okay? What not to do 2 hour break and take phone scrolling? No. Then you are going back into the time. Yeah. Please.
My more difficult was having to find this burger. Also, affects my other goals, like for example, lose weight.
Yeah.
And affects my other.
Yeah, things that are carrying on. Yeah, yeah. So basically, there are seven procrastination. You don't want to reward yourself, and unknowingly feeding your other procrastination. Yeah. Okay. Anyone have fun thing to share here? Like, what was your task that you procrastinated, and then what's your 2 minutes daydream?
Once we finish the supposed to
We want actually.
reward.
Reward you can only. No, that's not.
It's like 2 minutes. The next time is that. Because why action? Okay, we reward ourselves first. Yeah. At least we are rewarding ourselves first. There won't be any action.
Reward.
Yeah, it will be rewarding, and then okay, what's next reward? What's the 2 minutes reward? And then we keep on rewarding. Okay. Okay, any other interest? I mean, I want to, anything interesting share? You guys want to share what's your procrastination? Just to understand. So they also, each other also can understand, to give an idea. Jacqueline, you want to? Yeah. Okay.
One of my worrying stuff was just leadership reputation.
Oh, wow.
And the renovation.
Okay. So if you pick up the book, okay, 2 minutes. Oh, you have to design the book. You're a book designer. You're a graphic designer. Okay, so basically you work for publishers. Okay, so when is your deadline?
According to the client, it was last summer. I didn't have a job last pressure on.
Okay, so you are under pressure, right?
Yeah, they want to get when. Yeah, and share it.
Okay.
Content is rather boring.
Okay.
But it's just not.
What did what software you use for doing your page setting and you're using it on that? Because I used to do that job, hence I was curious. Yeah.
So what things do you start?
Okay, so what's your step now? So actually, this is just sit under there. Keep on that app. Close all my instructions on my app. Okay, put my camera. Okay. Open the open the demo. Okay, so the dev project file, I feel it's an unhelpful thought. So we need to work on that as well. Okay. Okay, good, good. Fatma, you want to share your? What is that? What's next? Okay. No, it's fine, as long as that's something you have to figure out yourself. Hafsa, you want to share yours?
Yeah,
Well done.
and I think next time,
Okay, and Heather Beach, not very different from her. Okay, so honestly,
I would like to be writing subject
I really.
and we do anything that.
This is, if someone in this group need to have PhD in procrastinating, reciting
I was actually wanted to question myself, that's why I paid the entire thing of it, I wasn't even there, I'm gonna do some of those. I was like, month, 2024, I did like month to see if I can still do it.
Okay.
2025, I went to the
Here, so you teach your 2 minutes actually.
here.
Like, I mean, I'm just telling you, teach your 2 minutes, but you didn't do your next step after that.
That's the point, that takes me a long time to do the 2 minutes, that is very important. Because I think I'm like, oh, what am I going to do now? But now, for example, yeah, I took the year, that I need to take that right, and then do that, I need to hear it.
Okay, good, well done, thank you. Yeah.
Boring, so it's really like work space. So I have like a report to send to regulation.
Okay.
Okay. This report is like a lot of effort. I might be like first page report, but the few page has like thousands, hundreds of other data that I need to check every day. So, yeah, by the company, and I want to work on it.
Okay.
So my 2 minutes is to draft the report of this character, like what do I need, and then my next action is to extract the data.
Okay.
Yeah. I gonna reward myself for a good lunch, dinner, or something.
And also mystery drink.
Let's do it. We have that. Yeah. Then
Taubi
yeah,
machine.
where sometimes they will have a promo, and then you just pay, I think, for like 2 ringgit 50 cents, you can get an anything, but it will be randomly generated by you. So I'm one of those people who have people with addicted to that thing. And one idea we have any of them. Same machine.
And once he took one mystery drink, he said, you want a drink? It's like coffee, you know. So that's our mystery drinker. So, Shan,
In my awarded part is as usual, so what I can do for this 2 minutes? Here I could spread
But usually my 2 minutes will become 2 hours. Okay, but I found out this method called Pomodoro. Okay, Pomodoro method where for example, like I have like usually I have like 35 pieces of essays. So one essay will be like 400 to 450 words. So I just take 5 pieces first. I will set aside, and then I have this Pomodoro app in my phone. So I will just turn on the app, and then I will tell myself, okay, I'm going to finish this 5 pieces. That's my focus, 5 pieces. So then just I play the Pomodoro button, and then I will just like start marking. So my focus when I do my marking, like for example, the introduction is there, not the statement. So then okay, my second and third paragraph is actually that elaboration of a topic center. So I focus on that to prepare everything to know, right? So I just focus at what I want to do. So by 25 minutes, probably I can finish pieces. If I'm too focused, I can finish 5 pieces in 25 minutes. But if I'm like sometimes, like you need to read again and again the same like the same pattern, you just don't get what they're finished the completing pieces. So that's how I finish it. So once I finish my 5 pieces, okay, I'm done. So what I do, I'll go and do something else, which will stretch when I do a 3 hours more. Okay, basically your reward, you over rewarding yourself. Yeah. Because the reward comes first, then I restart, but what I do, my 5 pieces will become 7 pieces or 10 pieces. Then I'll start my Pomodoro. So that's how I finish my.
Actually, with the rewarding thing, right? Most people we abuse the reward factor, right? Because we easily feel sense of accomplishment or we achieve something, and we over celebrate it, But what we forgetting here is that celebration or over rewarding actually again taking you out from the actual goal of sticking and finishing the job. Yeah. So yeah. Shivani?
Avoided task for a job.
Looking for a job.
Avoiding because I don't want a job. So what can I do for this?
Shivani, for any job. For a neuroscientist.
An expert saying talking.
Good one.
What can I do for 2 minutes? Just turn on my laptop. It means I finish my degree. I'm not just on the laptop. Smallest possible step. Don't need to apply first. Just scroll through the job sites. Look at what's out there.
Yeah, you can explore the market for for whatever you study, what kind of job market is there, what organization, company, that. So yeah, good, great. Karen?
Avoided task, is it?
Yes.
Of course, in line, because sometimes we can't compare at home, we will be busy with our short right? So once I completed one of the task, after that really I feel like maybe my mind needs to check everything one. So I will spend excited about it because I need to complete all of the tasks from that day. The day, or completing one short.
So what is your micro step here? So in order for you to complete, right? So basically it's like this. We are learning a technique, whatever we are avoiding or procrastinating, okay? That particular task, how can we restart? So that's when it says what's your 2 minutes, what can you do for 2 minutes? After you doing it, what's next?
Basically, everyone will relax.
Okay.
Like for me, no offense, maybe I feel like I should just sit for a while and relax the mind.
She's already at the reward. You're already recording.
Could be tiring, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it makes sense to me.
Yeah, because rather than I'm overdoing it, you know, so I just take for a while and then not really, not always. It's only when I'm at home. Because, you know, our working style is so when we are working at school, when we are working, and then we want them, you know, students are really that. I think she understands that, yeah.
So that's why she was offering Fatma. I'm confused what next comes from her job.
That's the thing. So weekend, we can be as mothers, we used to talk with them. So,
It's because in your scenario, I feel maybe he does not really have procrastination issue. She just only has stress issue. Hence, she's rewarding herself in being relaxed. Right? Okay, now I can relate. Yeah. Because especially when you say, you are very detailed,
yeah.
you want to keep the best even when it's marking, right? Your constructive feedback. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for sharing. I think what laptop or the task is giving us me constantly to feedback. You guys want to take a small break? Take a break.
You know that.
Okay, so everyone here. Everyone here, say hey. Okay. Yeah. Now, the power of exit technique. I know I briefly discussed just now on exit technique. It's one of the psychotherapeutic therapy technique too. Usually, what I do, I install anchoring during hypnosis sessions, so it gets embedded in their subconscious mind, and then it automatically works. I will explain what is, hypnosis and body-mind connection after this. But basically, this and finger press, right, is just an example. Okay. Earlier I told, right, anchoring technique means it's like your switch in your body. Okay. So basically you press the switch, whatever that you decide and whatever that's supposed to happen emotionally will take place. For example, someone who has focus problem, that means you cannot focus on the task for some time, automatically you are getting distracted. Okay, so the moment you activate your anchor, okay, in this case I just become in finger. So all I have to do is I press this. The next thing is I'm installing the anchor, saying that I will become focused and finishing this task. Okay, the reason we are doing gesture and the thought. Okay, the relationship here is because the brain loves association. Our brain always want to find why it's the question. Okay, it always question why it's doing like this. So it loves connection and it always would like to relate to it. Why? Okay, what and all that. So a physical action, for example, some pressing the breath and a desired state. Okay, so basically when you press your finger, your desired state is some focus and discipline. You subconsciously telling yourself that if I do this, I will become calm, focused, and disciplined. That's it. So basically, you're training your brain to make the gesture with the state. This is just an example. Okay. You guys know Kobe Bryant, Lakers, basketball guy, right? Yeah. Do you know what is anchoring? Many of these sportsmen, many celebrities, they use this technique. Yeah. Okay. Kobe Bryant, you know what he does? He actually bounces his ball 3 times. If you watch his game, he does that before every game. That 3 bounces, that is anchoring. He bounces. Maybe he's telling that after this, it's only all my balls going to come to me. It only goes over the net. Okay, your favorite Adele, right? She has a stage fright. Adele has a serious stage fright. So she uses anchoring technique. Okay, I think she presses her wrist or something. Every time during the performance, I think she does something like this, and that's when she starts the performance. So for her, maybe the moment she does that, she wouldn't see the crowd. She may see something else, no crowd or whatever, and she leaves the band. This is for those who have to. Anchoring technique can be used for many things. Okay, Tiger Woods, he does that also. Whenever you see a game, he will do the blinking. I think 2 or 3 blinks like that, and then. Okay, so and also this guy, the swimmer, what's his name? Michael Phelps. Before he swims, he usually I think rotates his arm like this, right? Yeah. So that's the anchoring technique. It's a very simple thing. All of us can do. If you have any fear or you want to do something, you want to achieve something, you have performance anxiety, during presentation, you feel tongue-tied or anything like that. It's a technique that you can use. Okay, we have an exercise, right? This one we can do it at home, the distraction part and all that, the anchoring one. Yeah. So just think of your own personal anchoring technique that maybe you want to have. So here onwards, for certain things you want to. Do you have any questions, Martha? It can be anything. It can be just a single snap. It sort of, gives you that reminder. Anything. If you can't think, it's okay. Don't put pressure on yourself. Yes. So she's saying that she does prayer and something to ignite her anxiety. Why not? Yeah. Yeah. Anything. I mean,
And inhaling.
Okay. Okay, so now, any question on the recruiting technique or the methods before? All good? Okay, so we move to understanding clinical hypnosis. Okay, why clinical hypnosis in the training session? Number one, because I am a trained clinical hypnotherapist. So I just want to share my knowledge with you because there are certain things will be useful because now that we are talking about anxiety, procrastination, etc. So anyone have any idea what is hypnosis means? Correct.
Without the mind, I can very quickly.
What?
Can take an antibiotic.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for the distraction. Thank you so much. Okay, but now, anything else? Because when we're talking about hypnosis, especially in Malaysian context, there are a lot of myths surrounding it. You know why? Because people here, when you talk about, oh, hypnosis, in the Malay word is kusau, it means completely something else. Literal meaning same. Hypnotic stage, kusau is the same, but contextually it's completely different. Okay, so here what people do, put someone, I don't have the knowledge to explain on how these people do it. Obviously, I did not study that. So I don't have license for how people take money, right? But what I'm saying is clinically, okay, as per the neuroscience, it's a guided process that promotes relaxation, allowing individuals to integrate new patterns and new behavior. Hypnotherapy, we do a lot of behavioral therapy. Habitual, like quit smoking, right? Even for scrolling, weight loss. I'm talking about only the behavioral part. Okay, in hypnosis, we also work on pain management. Okay, for example, a cancer patient who goes through chemotherapy, radiation, and all. Okay, they go through a very painful process. So what happens in our approach? We can train their mind to minimize the pain pressure. Okay, subconsciously, whatever they thought consciously, oh, what a big, it's very painful, it becomes limited. Okay, so there are a lot of things, the work I was talking to Jacqueline, right? We do a lot of trauma work, inner child regression. So with phobia, whoever has phobia, we have technique for that as well. Okay, so there are a lot of psychotic, psychosomatic issues that we do, right? Okay. Do you know we go into hypnosis stage every day? Yeah, so flow state is similar to hypnotic state, but the goal is different. Okay. Meditative state as well, because whatever the state we mentioned, flow state, meditative state, hypnotic state, the way our brain, our body system system, they are works in that same way. The body system works operates in that way. Okay, but for example, for meditation, right, the purpose is completely different. Okay, usually people say to meditate, right, to attain consciousness or something. So the goal is different. For hypnosis, what we are trying to do is we are subconsciously putting all the positive recommendations. Okay, so that consciously that it works for you. Okay. So what happens in the brain during hypnosis? The brain moves into a slower calmer state. Okay, it's very simple. The moment you are guided into a trance, hypnosis stage, trance stage, whatever, the moment you are into that stage, right? What happens? Your subconscious mind becomes very alert. It's very active and very alert. Contrarily, your body becomes so relaxed. So your body becomes so relaxed, but your subconscious mind is very actively thinking. And it's the best state for anyone, for a therapist or whoever to put positive suggestion. Okay, so basically, the brain moves into a calmer state. Okay, we talked about, I know, again, I'm talking about prefrontal cortex is part of the brain. It becomes clearer. That is the logical decision-making part of the brain. Okay, it has to take better decisions. Amygdala, I told you, right, the emotional part of the brain. Okay, it will be become less anxious. Okay, we won't overthink. Basically, what happens, our analytical mind takes the back step. Okay, when we are consciously doing work, dealing with kids, sitting in front of the computer doing our work, it's always our analytical mind comes in mind. So when you are in hypnotic state, it takes the back step, right? Alpha, theta, brain waves. Okay, so we have a lot of brain waves, Okay, beta brain wave is now. I'm on beta brain wave. All of you, I'm hoping not in translate and listening to whatever I'm saying. You have to listen to whatever I'm saying now. Okay, come back to beta state now. Okay. All right. So beta state is the conscious state where we are talking, you are listening, assuming you are listening. Alpha theta is the trance state. The deeper state is the delta state, the sleep state. Okay. So that's why the relaxed focus happens, body tension drops, easier to achieve emotion. Hypnosis helps the brain stop reacting and start responding. Right? Just for your information, self-hypnosis is possible. And like how meditation is possible, self-hypnosis is. Okay, why did I integrate hypnosis in our session today? Right? Because whatever the method learning from your breath work, from your thought swap, reacting, responding to entering, to micro-step approach, everything, we can actually reinforce all that in your, embed all that in your subconscious mind, right? It also strengthens your calm, focus, and discipline, right? Make new habits, help your brain remember all these tools, reduce stress, support your nervous system, everything. So basically, hypnosis generally creates your brain to choose the healthier path. Now, before we go to the hypnosis part, okay, can we do a recap on what all we learned? Are you guys ready? Okay, so this is the challenge. How it's going to work? I will read out a real life scenario that everyone can relate to. Okay, I want just, we will just discuss what sort of reaction you will get. And then immediately, after the reaction, we do the breath work because you want to take a pause there to respond, right? Okay, Then I say reset. Everyone takes a slow breath, and then we say round. So for that reaction, right, what helpful thought you can come up with, okay? And then what is the micro step, 2 minute thing that you can take, okay? And what is the distraction blocker for that? For example, keep the phone away or don't think about playing game or whatever. And then we activate your personal answer. Okay, that's it. Are we ready? What could be a relatable scenario for all of us? Because we have teachers, we have corporate employees, we have a designer, we have
Actually, at school, almost.
no, we want to practice on the current situation. Of course. Why we want to practice for the ongoing issue, not for the past. Is deadline a problem for everyone? Yes. For teachers marking paper, deadline. For office, I have my activity deadline. But okay, we can all relate to that. Okay, so let's start. Can you all just remember all your deadlines now? Yes. How would you react? Like for example, classic example, you are a deadline, you have a deadline, you are sleeping, okay, deeply sleeping, suddenly that 3 o'clock thing will hit you and you wake up like, right? Usually the reminders come when we sleep. Because our body is so relaxed, so relaxed. That's when I told you, right, that state where we start to subconsciously think about something that's been in our subconscious mind for a long time. Hence, when you're in a deep sleep state, that's when he will say, "Hi, I'm still here."
I even use the word anti-migrant. Yeah,
that one is completely different. That the difference between meaning deadline is there, procrastinating, and then due to that deadline and overwhelming work. That means work after work. Deadline is a two different things. You know what I'm trying to say? That means you have very little time, but your boss has given unreliable, unrealistic, and not practical something. So that's different. That's when like my kids will be typing your computer and right? So yeah. So the reaction, he will be working in his sleep. Yes. Fatma, I will think what it was like me. Like, I will keep on checking the phone. Oh, it's only 2 o'clock. Can you all go back to sleep after that? You can. Who is, for example, okay, for example, I will tell you my very recent scenario. Okay, so Sharina is supposed to help me with recording the session. So she called me before midnight saying that there's an emergency, she can't make it on time, right? Then I said, okay, no problem, we'll figure something out. Okay, but that has already given me a stress. Even though I did not react immediately, but I think it has given a like, oh my God, I have everything ready. This is pending. For me, it really bothers me. If there's an idea, oh, this is pending. But I went to bed because I was so tired and all that, right? Suddenly at 3:30, I woke up. And what I did, I just started finding solutions. Google and see what's the other solution. And I found a solution. Yeah. So some people can, do it that way. I would like to proudly say I did not react, I responded to the situation. Right. Yeah, because actually, things cannot be perfect, right? When it comes to, sometimes this is what we say that prioritizing. For me, this is, after few hours, I need to present to a group of people. So me think better. Like even I told you, right, my HDMI cable did not work. So I did respond to the situation. What's next? I will keep on bugging Shivani saying that what to do, what to do. Yeah. Also another thing, I personally experienced when you respond to a situation, even though there is no solution, sometimes solution appears. Did anyone have experience with that? That means you're not thinking of the worst. Situation is worse, but you're not thinking of the worst. But in that situation, sometimes someone will come. Like it's kind of manifestation, So I feel that mind is such a powerful thing. When you use it in a correct way, it can be very rewarding for others because you're just attracting that kind of energy, that kind of even in a very taxing situation, you somehow attracting something more positive. When you're going to think a situation is good, trust me, it's going to be yeah, that could be a very good. Exactly, exactly. This is why training your brain is very important. Okay, are we doing our challenge or not? Okay, let's do it. Deadline, how we react, stress, working in our sleep, cannot go back to sleep and all that, right? Okay, reset. Can we do the breath work? Can you take comfortably? Right, inhale. Hold. Exhale slowly. Okay. And then reframe. The moment we woke up middle of the night, right, thinking about the deadline, how we can reframe the thought. Instead of saying, oh shit, I have deadline, what we can think. More exciting as well. I think very efficient. Because I think it's the same, feel like because it's the same positive reaction. Right? It works for you. Oh, that's great.
I will be specified anyway, especially if I'm slow in my life. I'm very happy because the reaction is still like,
Okay. Okay. She's unique in the cycle. Okay, great. Because that means you already getting a solution. That still time morning will give me an answer. Shavina? Okay. Now
To cycle myself and think, okay, marking is something meaningful for the students. I'm doing this program.
okay. Okay. Basically, you are just justifying yourself. Okay. And then microstep route, which we already covered. Okay, get up in the morning and we'll figure it out, right? Okay, distraction blocker. Okay, this is a very important thing most of us will do. Okay, we wake up, we'll think like, okay, me in the morning what I did, I found a solution. I don't know whether it's good or not. Like what Jacqueline said, I had to sacrifice my sleep for that. But some people what will do, take phone, scroll, sacrifice sleep for that, right? So we have to make sure that That means no phone touching, no game playing, or turning off Netflix and finish the episode that is supposed to be. Alright? And then anchor activation. Whatever your anchor, I know you have not even thought about it, but please give a thought if it works. And again, like I told you, it works only if you do it. Right? That's it. Okay, so basically, I'm going to do a group hypnosis session, right? I will guide you to relax your body, calm your nervous system, activate your anchor, right? Reinforcing whatever the tools you learn today, right? And then rehearsing your 7-day plan individually. What is the 7-day plan? It's here. So, for the next 7 days, you choose one trigger that really motivate you. How you want to retain the whole thing, that micro step, the distraction block, and then you want to make the movement. Yeah. Then. Now tell me, who's going to procrastinate this? Raise your hand.
Just be honest.
Okay.
The holiday mode ready, there's no more.
Okay. So again, coming back to this, you don't believe in me, if there's no discipline, nothing works. Okay? But here, one positive helpful thought, right? At least you know, you are aware. It's just about creating a room for applying. Okay? Let's just focus on the positive aspect of it. Because I know we have attended so many things, so many sessions and all that. We know we have the knowledge, we have the awareness, it just went on. Okay. Are you guys ready? I'm going to put a light with you. Yes, yes, I'm going to turn on the light. I will turn on the Yes, I will. Thank you. You guys have any questions on the hypnosis? Do you feel comfortable doing it? Please let me know, yeah?
Not saving. No, I'm just saving the last record. Yes.
If you want, you can just pull your chair wherever you want just to give it to the left. You can, you can, whatever position that you are comfortable. Right?
Sekali lagi saya
So basically in a hypnosis session, right? There will be something called inducing trance. Okay, that means I will just tell you, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and close your eyes, and something like that. So automatically when I do the inducing part, okay, your brain waves go into that alpha or theta state. You will be questioning yourself, but I still know what's happening. I'm still thinking about something else. But it's a slow shift. Okay, so what I want from you guys is to don't think about anything. Okay, don't think about anything. Just focus on my voice, sound of my voice. Okay, continuously focus on what I'm saying. Those who are really doing deep in trance at one point wouldn't even know what I'm talking about, which is fine because that's what we want. Okay, so once induced into that stage and all, we're talking about reinforcing whatever tools, right? That we have learned. And then after that, I will just make you guys up. That's it. So just treat this as a completely relaxed state, right? Okay, ready? You can just spread your chair wherever you want. Okay. Huh? You can sit on the floor. If you want, you can anywhere, whatever that you feel comfortable with. Okay, so all are settled in your chair, maybe in your comfortable position. Okay, allow your hands to rest naturally. Right? Now, take a slow breathe in, and a very long, comfortable exhale. Practice for you to slow down, reset, and reconnect with your calm, capable self. Nothing matters now. Nothing absolutely matters now except the sound of my voice, which will take you even more deeply relaxed. Those who have not closed your eyes, gently close your eyes. Nothing matters now except the sound of my voice. Now, bring your awareness to your breath. No need to change anything. Just observe. Feel your feet supported on the floor. Feel your body supported by the chair or the floor, wherever you are. Feel it. With each exhale, the body part becomes soft, loose. Your shoulders, your face, your hands, your tummy, your back. Let the weight you've been carrying all this while settle down. Settle down for a moment, as nothing matters now except how you feel, how you feel just right, listening to the sound of my voice. Now imagine with each breath out, you sink a little deeper into comfort. Your mind becomes quieter, your breath smoother, your body lighter. Nothing to fix, absolutely nothing to fix, nothing to solve. Just allowing your body to be just like this with each breath out, breathing in and breathing out continuously. And now, let's reset the nervous system. Inhaling for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 6, and exhale. Again, here for 4, hold for 2, very long exhale for 6. Long exhale tells your brain you are safe. You can relax now. Now, gently activate your ankle, whatever your anchoring method, if you have, whatever method, whatever the method you visualize just now, which will be your anchor. Is this your anchor? A physical reminder of calm, focus, discipline. Your brain is memorizing the state while your body is absorbing it. Keep on breathing in and breathing in. The state, body is absorbing it. Being calm, focus, and discipline while you activating your anchor. And any situation that usually triggers stress, procrastination, or distraction, visualize that. see yourself meeting that situation calmly, breathing steadily, breathing in and out, slowly and steadily, and you seeing yourself meeting the situation calmly, activating your anchor, reframing that thought, taking one tiny step, blocking distraction gently, and you visualize yourself doing that. You are responding to the situation with ease and clarity. Your brain is trained to respond to the situation with ease, calm, and clarity. If you silently think, can start small. I can stay calm. I will respond. I only respond to situation. I can keep my discipline intact. Start small and stay calm. I will respond. I can keep my discipline. These words settle into your subconscious, gently shaping how you move through your days ahead. These words are embedded in your subconscious mind, navigating, gently shaping how you move through your days. As I count from 1 to 10, you will slowly awaken with each number. As I count to 8, you will open your eyes. By the count of 10, you will be fully wide awake. Every part of you will be back into this training space, and all normal sensation will return to your lips. You will be feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, and more confident, having installed the discipline embedded in your subconscious mind. So I am going to count